Hello everyone, this is Sirisha from First MBBS. Today I would like to show you the clinical examination of abdomen. The systemic examination of abdomen is done under 4 steps: inspection, palpation, percussion and auscultation. Before proceeding into the process, there are a few instructions to be followed. The examination should be done under good light and warm surroundings. The subject should lie comfortably on a couch in supine position with arms by his side. His head should be supported by a pillow. Expose the abdomen from xiphisternum to the pubic symphysis and stand on the right side of the subject. Under inspection of the abdomen, we'll check for shape of the abdomen, umbilicus, abdominal movements during inspiration, pulsations, peristalsis, hernial sites and the dilated veins, and divergation of the recti and the skin color, lesion, scar, and the presence of pigmentation in the abdominal area. The abdomen is divided into 9 quadrants by 2 vertical lines and 2 transverse lines. The vertical line is drawn from the mid-inguinal point, and the transverse line, one is drawn from the 10th costal cartilage and the other from the highest point of the iliac crest. And this way the abdomen is divided into 9 quadrants. This is the right hypochondrium, right lumbar region and the right iliac region. This is the epigastrium, umbilical region and the hypogastrium. And this is the left hypochondrium, left lumbar and the left iliac region. And now the shape of the abdomen. Then in a normal healthy individual, the abdomen is flat or slightly scaphoid or the boat shape. In abnormal conditions, there is a distension is seen. There is generalized distension due to 5 factors: fat, flatus, fetus, fluid and feces. And there is a localized distension seen under 2 conditions: asymmetrical and symmetrical. Symmetrical is seen due to small bowel obstruction, and asymmetrical is seen due to organomegaly like liver, spleen or any other abdominal organs. And then the umbilicus. The umbilicus is located between the xiphisternum and the pubic symphysis. The umbilicus in a normal individual is centrally located and it is slightly inverted and slightly retracted. Abdominal movements in relation to respiration. Inspect the type of respiration. In females it is thoracoabdominal and in male it is abdominothoracic. And in the diseases of the abdomen like ascites, the abdominal movements are restricted, and in the diseases of the lung, the respiratory movements are restricted. And then check for the visible pulsations. The abdominal aortic pulsations are seen in the epigastric region in thin individuals. And then check for the visible peristalsis. The peristalsis is usually visible in thin individuals or due to pyloric obstruction or due to small bowel obstruction. And then check for the hernial sites. The hernial sites can be inguinal, umbilical, epigastric and the incisional hernia. Ask the patient to stand and cough and locate the bulging for the hernial sites. And now check for the dilatation of the veins. The dilated veins are observed in portal hypotension and obstruction of the inferior vena cava. And now check for the divergation of the recti. Ask the person to cough and check for the separation of the recti. Separation of the recti suggests about the pore muscle tone. Lastly, check for the skin color, lesion, scar or pigmentation. The scar may be red, is a new scar, and the old ones are of white color. Step 2 is palpation. Palpation is of 2 types: superficial palpation and deep palpation. Superficial palpation is done to check for the temperature, tenderness, down of the muscle and confirmation of the hernial sites. And deep palpation is done to check the abdominal viscera like liver, kidney and spleen. And now palpation is done with the subject lying down with the legs in semi-flexed position to relax the abdomen. And now palpation is done with the subject lying down with the legs in semi-flexed position to relax the abdomen. And now palpation is done with the subject lying down with the legs in semi-flexed position to relax the abdomen. We'll go with the superficial palpation. Step 1 is to check the temperature. Temperature is checked with the back of your palm placed on the abdomen. Tenderness. On applying pressure, the pain felt by the subject is tenderness. The location of the tenderness is associated with a specific pathology. Tenderness in the epigastrium is due to peptic ulcer, and tenderness in the right hypochondrium. It may be due to cholecystitis and hepatitis. The right iliac region may be due to appendicitis. Tone of the muscle. To check for rigidity, place your fingers and feel the tone of the muscle. And hernial conformation. This is the region of the inguinal hernia, and check for the umbilical hernia, and then check for the incisional hernia and the epigastric hernia. And now for the deep palpation, press your palm firmly and deeply on different regions of the abdomen. Palpation of the lever is palpated in the right subcostal margin, and ask the subject to take deep breaths. If the lever is not palpable, move 2 cm upward and palpate it. Now you can feel the sharp regular border of the lever. Measure the consistency and the surface of the lever and the tenderness. The enlargement of the lever can be felt with the 2 finger. It is the normal enlargement. The 2 to 4 fingers is moderately enlarged, and more than 5 fingers is severely enlarged. Hooking method of the lever. In the hooking method, the fingers are hooked to the right subcostal region, and in the hooking method, only moderately enlarged lever can be palpated. Dipping method. For the palpation of the lever, in the dipping method, the palm is pressed 2 to 3 times in the abdomen to displace the fluid, and the lever border is felt. Now even you can move downwards and to feel the right border, lower right border of the lever. And next is a palpation of the spleen. Spleen usually enlarges from the left hypochondrium to the right iliac region. So start palpating for the spleen from the left iliac region and move towards the opposite side of the abdomen. Ask the subject to take deep breaths and move upwards every 2 cm. There are alternative methods for the palpation of the spleen: the hooking method and the dipping method. And next is the palpation of the kidney. Kidney is palpated bimanually. Place the left hand under the renal angle and the right hand above it. Press the right hand to palpate the kidney. If the kidney is enlarged, it could be palpated. And the third step is percussion. The percussion note of the abdomen is usually tympanic. Accumulation of any gas yields a tympanic note, and accumulation of any fluid gives a dull note. There are 3 signs of ascites: fluid thrill, horseshoe-shaped dullness, and shifting dullness. Percussion. The percussion note about the abdomen is usually tympanic due to the presence of gas in the intestines. And when the fluid accumulates in the abdomen, there occurs the 3 signs of ascites. One is a fluid thrill, and the second one is horseshoe-shaped dullness, and the third one is a shifting dullness. Now we'll see the fluid thrill. Ask the subject to put the ulnar border of his hand over the mid plane in the abdomen, and place your right hand on his left flank, and with the left hand tap slightly in his right flank, so that you can feel a ripple in horseshoe-shaped percussion. It is done centrifugally. Place your left hand in the umbilical region and percuss towards the left hypochondrium, and then towards the left lumbar, and then towards the left iliac, and then towards the hypogastrium, and then towards the right iliac, and then towards the right lumbar, and then towards the right hypochondrium, and then towards the epigastric region. After the percussion, make a note of all the dull notes, and then the upper surface of the dull notes is marked. The lower border of the dull notes gets merged with the sides and the now shifting dullness. It is percussed from the umbilicus and tap gently and towards the flank. And when you hear a dull note, turn the patient and then tap again, and the dull note becomes tympanic.